Mark Cueto, a second start for England in the warm-up games. You must be pleased with that, keeping out a few of the other wingers for the starting berth.
Yeah, it's good. I think, you know, from a personal point of view, you know, I think at the start of any season you just want to get out on the field and get some game time under your belt. I think, you know, last week in particular, you know, I felt really good on the field, to be fair. Felt strong, quick, and everything else, and fit. But just the way the game panned out, didn't get a huge amount of opportunity to have a run with ball in hand. So you know, came off the field quite frustrated. So it was nice to get another run out this week and hopefully get my hands on the ball a bit more.
Yeah, I've heard you sort of mention the time off, shall we say, that you had at during the game. It's given you a real chance to actually have your longest break to get fitter and get back. Yeah. And it must be interesting now when there are a few other wingers kicking around on the side. You know, Hugo Mon, your Charlie Sharples, other guys really vying for those shirts. Do you still feel I've got to get my hands on the ball so I can really prove that I should be one of the first on that plane?
Yeah, I think you know, regardless. Yeah, I think there's never a point in your career, you know, particularly playing for England, when you know there isn't people, you know, tapping you on the shoulder and wanting your shirt. You know, it wouldn't be, you know, you don't get to this level without sort of having to deal with that. And you know, probably even more so at the minute. You know, there's never been a shortage of back three players in England, but I think, you know, at the minute some guys are really stepping forward. You know, we know all about the likes of Hugo and the likes of Stretz and people like this, but you know, at the same time, young kids like Charlie have come through, and you know, he's done unbelievably well. He had a fantastic season last year for Gloucester. You know, and he's come into this squad, and I think credit to the way the squad's run at the minute and the attitude of the boys. You know, he's sort of fitted in straight away, and the boys have welcomed him very openly and made it as easy a sort of transition for him as possible. And you know, he's kept his head down and he's trained really well, and you know, he looks fantastic in training. So
not too fantastic, you're hoping on?
Well, no, he looks good, mate. He looks really good. But as I said, you know, nobody ever plays for their country without having pressure put on them. You know, you're never a dead cert. You know, even the captain's never a dead cert. So from that point of view, my attitude and outlook on planes never changed, really.
Fair enough. I just wanted to move on a little bit to maybe a bit of pre-match routine, give people an insight as to what you guys sort of go through. How long, say, before the game would you be eating, and what sort of stuff would you be eating?
If it's, say, a typical sort of 3 o'clock kickoff, we'll probably be up for breakfast. You know, anywhere from, some guys go early, but you know, anything from sort of between 7 and 10. We normally have a walk through down on the training pitch about 10:30. It's literally just 5 minutes, just like I say, walking through, nothing faster than that. Just a few line outs, a few scrums or whatever, and then basically your time's your own then to get ready. And we normally leave here, say 12:30, 12:45. So most of the boys like to eat, you know, no later than probably 3 hours before kick-off. So like I say, you'd be looking to get some food down your neck after your breakfast, probably between sort of 11 and 12.
What sort of stuff would you be eating?
There's a mixture of, you know, there's sandwiches, there's hot stuff, there's chicken, there's pasta, there's bolognese, and then there's more sort of breakfasty stuff, you know.
Do you have any routines about it?
I do,
always have the same thing?
I always have poached egg and beans on toast. I'm a nightmare. We could stand there all day talking about superstitions. So
go on, give us a few more.
Oh, mate, first, you know, last out of the changing room, last off the coach, shaving on the day of the game.
I've heard Will Greenwood say that he liked to be last out of the changing room.
He did, yeah.
If there's a lot of you who like to be last out of the changing room, how does that work?
A lot of the boys these days aren't too bothered, I don't think. But I remember first turning up, you know, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was, and me and Will both obviously wanted to go out last, and him being the sort of senior guy and me being the young kid, you know, and he let me go last, which was nice of him, and at the minute, fortunately, there's no one else too bothered about it, so I still managed to get out last of the change room, which is good. Brilliant.
And once you finish the game, is there a chance to pick out? Do you have any particular excesses that you go, brilliant, it's after the match, I can now get the curry in or the pizza or something?
Yeah, there's always pizza and stuff in the changing room.
What are the excesses you like getting stuck into?
Pizza, McDonald's, chocolate generally over the weekend, yeah. So you know, the boys are pretty strict. You know, 6 days a week. So you know, it's sometimes nice after a game you're a bit battered and bruised, and you know, getting some feel-good food down here.
Brilliant. And finally, you've been up at Sale. Obviously, you've been playing with England for a number of years. Of the various coaches and managers that you've worked with, what have been the sort of gems of advice that you've been given, or who've been the guys that have really inspired you in your career and been able to talk to you in a way that you've really benefited?
I think without sounding cliched, I think every coach that I've had has generally had a huge influence. You know, whether it's going back to the likes of Jim Malander and Steve Diamond at Sale, you know, 10 years ago when you know, I was new on the scene, and they gave me my first opportunity at Sale, which was fantastic, to, you know, Philippe Saint-André at Sale, you know, until the season that he came. You know, I'd been on the verge of getting picked for England, but never actually managed to break through. And then I think it was 6-8 months into, you know, probably, you know, into his time at Sale, and you know, obviously being an ex-international winger with about 70-80 caps for France and captain in France, you know, there's a lot of little points that he gave me that I think improved my game as well. And you know, then looking at England, obviously Andy Robinson was again a coach that gave me my first opportunity with England. So yeah, it's funny really. I think Jono's been fantastic. I think the biggest difference for me, sort of with England now to over the years, is probably the sort of consistency and the continuity that we've got in the squad. And you know, to a degree, that, you know, that's down to the guys playing well and allowing the coach to be consistent in the team and the squad that he's picking. But I think as well as that, there's a lot of luck involved. You know, lack of injuries and whatnot. I know, you know, at times with Brian Ashton, with Andy Robinson, you know, there was 15-16 changes to a 30-man squad every time we came together, and you know, that was for no reason other than injury and bad luck. You know, and for any coach that's massively difficult to deal with. So, you know, touch wood, at the minute we've been lucky, and that consistency's helped massively, I think.
Well, consistency is taking place on the wing this weekend with you against Wales at the Millennium Stadium. Best of luck, mate.
Cheers, mate.